The layout? A trap. The apps? Loaded with upsells. And that food? Well, it might look fresh, but don't bet your nachos on it. Movie theaters have spent years perfecting how to separate you from your money. From the moment you buy your ticket to the second you grab your seat, you are being nudged, steered, and straight up baited into spending more. I'm Mike with List 25, and these are 25 ways movie theaters trick you into spending more. 25. You're being ambushed. Have you ever noticed how you have to pass the snack counter if you want to make it to your seat? That's not just a design choice. That's a setup. Most theaters are laid out like a funnel. There's a wide open lobby, a glowing concession stand in the center, and a bunch of auditoriums hidden behind it. You're basically walking through a snack obstacle course, and nothing about it is subtle. The popcorn machines are right up front. Oversized sodas and Slurpees are winking at you from behind the glass, and the wall of candy looks almost like a Vegas slot machine. The colors, the sounds, every bit of it is intended to make you want something immediately. You haven't even found your row yet, and your brain is already halfway to popcorn and that frozen beverage. 24. Your card betrays you. Movie theaters love that you pay with your card. Not just because it's faster, but because it makes you spend more without thinking. Studies have shown that people are twice as likely to spend more money when they're using a card instead of cash. And the reason is simple. When you swipe or tap it, it doesn't feel as real as handing over actual bills. You're not watching your money disappear, you're just clicking confirm, so when that screen pops up asking if you want to add an $8 cookie, you are way more likely to say yes. Theaters have leaned into this, and most of them now skip the cash completely and steer you through slick, spend-happy alternatives. 23. Snacks. Snacks everywhere. At big multiplexes, the food trap is not just in the lobby, it is all over the place. Some theaters have concession counters on every floor, and if your screen is at the far end, you might pass 2 or 3 snack stations before you even get there. So yes, popcorn pays. In 2018, AMC made most of its revenue from admissions, about 62%. But concessions were where the real money was. AMC kept nearly 84 cents of every dollar spent on snacks. For tickets, they only kept around 50 cents on the dollar. So if you spend $1 at the box office, they split it with the studios. But if you spend $1 on popcorn, AMC more or less pockets it. Pockets it. That's a terrible pun. 22. Escape is not an option. When you go to see a movie, you're not just banned from bringing your own snacks, you're often banned from leaving. A lot of theaters strictly prohibit outside food and drinks, and some even go so far as checking your bag at the door. That's already frustrating. But if you step outside mid-movie, even just to grab a quick bite, some cinemas might not allow you back in. They do this for one reason. If you get hungry or thirsty, they want to be your only option. You're stuck inside for 2 or 3 hours, and if your stomach starts growling, your only escape is the $8 soda or that jumbo candy for $7. By locking you in, they turn every craving into a guaranteed sale. 21. The popcorn pyramid scheme. There is no small anymore. Most concession menus start at regular and then jump to large or XL. By removing the cheapest size, theaters make you spend more right out of the gate. And once you're there, the upsell kicks in. That $6.50 popcorn suddenly looks like a bad deal when the large is just $1 more. Come on, you wanna. So you upgrade. You tell yourself, it's a better value. Maybe you even pretend that you'll split it. But that extra buck is the real goal. Even if their profit margin on the large is a little lower, they're still pocketing more of your money overall. It's a pricing trick built on your brain's love of a deal. And the end result is you walking into your movie with a snack that could feed a small family. Not kidding. This is from when I saw Fantastic Four. This isn't even the whole bucket. I had to pour, it was a big bucket. This is like half of it. They allowed free refills, so I took some home. This is ridiculous. 20. The salt trap. That popcorn did not just happen to be salty. It was supposed to be. Theaters load it with extra salt for one reason and one reason only, to trigger your thirst. And once that kicks in, guess who has the only drinks? Yeah. Industry insiders have admitted that heavily salted popcorn leads directly to more drink sales, and theaters are more than happy to play along. And why wouldn't they be? A large soda costs them a few cents to pour. The cup, the syrup, the ice, all of it barely moves their expenses needle. But they still charge you $5, $6, maybe even $7 for it. You'll get hit with the salt, and there they are, standing with the solution. 19. The refill you never use. Free refill sounds like a good deal. You see it on the menu next to the large size, and suddenly the price feels a little bit more justifiable. It makes the upfill feel smart, like you're getting ahead of the system. But let's be honest. Are you really going to get up in the middle of the movie to refill that giant bucket? Most people don't. By the time the credits roll, they're full, the soda's warm, or the popcorn's half stale. The theater knows this, and they're counting on it. The cost for that popcorn is pennies. If you do refill it, they still win. If you don't, they win even more. Either way, the word free did exactly what it was supposed to do. Made you buy the biggest one on the board. I got refills. I always get refills. Get them right before you go. Actually, really, be honest, I really don't get popcorn much at movies anymore. I hate kernels stuck in my teeth. I don't want to deal with that for 2 hours. So it is rare that I actually get popcorn at the theater these days. Or really out of the house at all. 18. The Combo Con. Theaters love to slap the word value on a combo. Popcorn, drink, candy, all in one bundle. But in most theaters, all you're getting is 3 overpriced items stacked together with a friendly label. In fact, the combo usually costs exactly the same as buying each item separately. Now, it's probably because we're all suckers for a good deal. We think we're getting more for less. And while we're all focused on that supposed bargain, we end up saying yes to things we weren't planning on buying. Maybe you came for popcorn, but now you have candy and a soda too, all because they were bundled together with a friendly label that made it look like the smarter choice. Unless you already wanted everything in that combo, you are not getting a deal. You're just spending more in one go. 17. The extra everything tax. Speaking of the treats, even your toppings come with a price tag. You want caramel? That costs more. Extra cheese on your nachos? More. Fancy packaging, gourmet flavors, souvenir tray? All of it gets rung up separately. None of these add-ons look expensive on their own. Just $1 here, $1 there, but those dollars can multiply fast, especially when you're already in treat yourself mode. I mean, you're there to have fun after all. But just know the theater knows you are more likely to say yes when you're already spending. And those little upgrades, they can turn a $10 snack run into something much closer to a $20. 16. Fresh-ish at best. That hot dog spinning under the heat lamp might have been spinning for hours. The same goes for that pretzel under the glass or the slice of pizza that somehow looks exactly like it did an hour ago. The truth is, not everything behind the counter is actually fresh. They just make it look like it is. According to the theater employees, the only foods they truly trust are the popcorn, the boxed candy, and the drinks. Pretty much everything else is a no-go. Some theaters even reheat old popcorn from the day before, and since it's warm and smells like butter, a lot of people can't tell the difference. The whole arrangement is set up to create the illusion of just made, but that $5 pretzel might have been ready to eat yesterday. 15. The Nutritional Blackout. Theaters know exactly how many calories can be found in that jumbo popcorn combo. They're just hoping you never find out. Under US law, big chains are supposed to post calorie count, but cinema owners actually lobbied to keep that information off the menu. And now you know why. A single snack combo can hit over 1,600 calories and have more saturated fat than 3 fast food burgers. If customers had to stare at all those numbers before buying, some might pause, some might downsize, and some will definitely skip it altogether. But if no one asks and no one tells, the tubs stay big and the sales stay strong. 14. You wanted 2D? Too bad. We've all shown up to the theater ready to watch that new blockbuster and found that everything was in 3D, IMAX, or something with rumbling seats and glowing ticket prices. Where is the regular version? Nowhere. At least not yet. Theaters often front load opening weekends with premium formats only. So if you want to see the movie right away, well, you're paying extra whether you want bells or whistles or not. A regular 2D screening might be added later, but by then the hype is cooled down and they've already made their money. By limiting the options, they steer you straight to the premium price without ever having to ask. 13. LieMAX. As if forcing you into premium formats wasn't bad enough, some of them aren't even real. A lot of so-called IMAX screens are actually just lower-res digital setups using basic 2K projectors and smaller screens. Nothing close to the giant 70mm format that real fans are paying for. And the craziest part is that people still shell out more just because the branding says premium. In fact, in some cities, real IMAX screens are disappearing completely and are being swapped out for cheaper versions that are easier to build and maintain. So now, theaters can charge top-tier prices in more locations without investing in the actual premium setup. For them, it makes perfect business sense. For everyone else, it just means less screen, less sound, and more money for a downgraded experience. 12. We're being hit with surge pricing. You know how airline tickets get more expensive the closer you are to takeoff? Or how ride shares double when it's raining? Well, someone told the guys in the theater business about it, and they've started playing the same game. Some chains now use dynamic pricing, raising ticket prices for blockbuster releases or peak show times. Cinemark, for example, added a big release surcharge amounting to about 25 to 50 cents on opening weekends. It sounds small, but it stacks up fast when every seat in the theater costs a little more than usual. The majority of people will never notice. The extra charge blends right into the total. But if you saw something huge on its opening night, there's a decent chance you paid more just because everyone else wanted to see it too. 11. The Price of Plush. Recliners, VIP lounges, private boxes. Movie theaters have been upgrading hard over the last decade. And while those plush leather chairs look like a win for the customer, they were always part of a bigger strategy. Once the upgrades were in, most theaters quietly raised their base ticket prices by a couple of dollars. Some even rolled out something known as tiered seating, where the best middle rows cost more than the sides. AMC actually tested this with their sightline pricing model, charging extra for the exact seat everyone wants. Nobody argues that it isn't comfortable, but it's also a clever way to squeeze more money out of each room. One industry report flat out admitted these premium touches are designed to boost revenue per seat. By turning comfort into a commodity, theaters found a way to charge more without adding any extra showtimes or space. 10. Dinner and a movie. In the movie. Going to the movies used to mean grabbing dinner after. Now, depending on where you live, you're being handed a menu before the trailers even get rolling. More theaters have started offering dine-in services, full meals, and even alcohol delivered right to your seat, which can feel like a nice perk until the bill shows up. A basic combo of a hot dog, fries, and a cookie can hit $13, and cocktails or appetizers only drive it higher. This setup lets theaters stretch a $12 ticket into a full night out, and they do it at restaurant prices. One round of food and drinks and suddenly your movie is turned into a $50 evening. 9. Pre-orders, pre-spending. Buying your ticket through the app used to be about skipping the line. Now it's about locking in your snacks before you leave the house. Some apps will also prompt you with combo deals during checkout, marketing it as something that's kind of optional, but not really, if you want to complete the experience. And people go for it. According to some reports, pre-selling concessions boosts average orders by as much as 60% with some chains. Once you've added that combo to your cart, the decision's made, and the theater skips the tedious process of having to convince you at the counter, since you already said yes. 8. You're not safe at the counter either. That friendly, would you like to upgrade to a large for just 75 cents more? It's not just a suggestion. It's part of the job. Concession staff are trained to upsell, and their registers even prompt them with specific scripts depending on what you order. Get a popcorn? The system might nudge them to offer a drink for a combo price. Ask for a small soda? They'll be reminded to suggest a medium or large, just for a little extra. Managers track how often these suggestions land because it has a direct impact on revenue. The method is simple. If every customer gets asked, a percentage will say yes. Now multiply that by every customer in line, and you can see why theaters push it so hard. 7. The Tuesday lure. To get you in the door on slow days, theaters often have special discount showings like $5 Tuesdays or student days. It sounds like they're doing you a favor, but it's really a strategy to boost attendance and concession sales midweek. Those cheap tickets are a loss leader. Once you're there for the bargain movie, they'll hope you'll spend the usual on popcorn and soda, which aren't discounted, by the way. Major chains openly use these promos to boost footfalls during off-peak times, and the moviegoers who might skip an expensive Friday show will show up on Tuesday and inevitably buy snacks with the money they saved on tickets. In the end, the theater still makes its money. It's just spread across more people buying goodies. 6. The gift card grift. Theater gift cards are a popular present and a perfect moneymaker for cinemas. The sneaky fact is that a significant chunk of that gift card money is never used. Americans leave roughly 10 to 19% of gift card balances unredeemed on average, and theaters are well aware that this breakage will occur. So when you buy a $50 cinema gift card, there is a good chance that $5 to $10 of it will never be spent at all, which is pure profit for the theater. Even when used, gift cards encourage people to overspend. For example, you might buy $60 of tickets/concessions with a $50 gift card. That's why they push their gift cards so hard during the holidays. They get your cash now, often without having to provide the equivalent value in services later. 5. Event-ifying the movie. In recent times, opening nights have become full-on events, complete with marathons, swag bags, themed screenings, and VIP pricing to match. A fan event might cost twice the price of a normal ticket, but you get a pin, a poster, maybe a lanyard, and the feeling that you are part of something special. I'm feeling personally attacked when I've been to 2 Star Wars marathons. Chains and studios have realized these limited edition screenings bring in superfans who are happy to pay more, not necessarily for the movie, but for the moment. It's the same logic behind Q&A simulcasts, one-night only revivals, and interactive formats. The exclusivity drives urgency, and the urgency drives sales. According to industry analysts, these events are no longer just promotions. They have become an integral part of the business model, all in an effort to boost turnout, inflate per customer revenue, and give theaters something streaming can't replicate. It was still fun. 27 hours watching all 9 Star Wars movies. Worth it. I actually did the math on that one. I think it wasn't too bad. I think it was like $120 divided by 9. I at the time, this is 2019. Still worth it. Cool experience. I'd do it again. 4. That pass doesn't work here. If you're using a subscription or a free movie pass, you'll find a lot of the fine print excluding the stuff you might really want. Fan events, special screenings, double features, and even some blockbuster opening weekends are often blocked. The pass looks good on paper, but once demand goes up, the rules kick in. Even some opening weekends are off limits. These blackout rules are there to make sure that when demand spikes, everyone is paying full price, even the regulars. So yes, your pass works on the average Tuesday night, but if you're trying to see the newest release or anything with bonus content, expect to reach for your wallet anyway. 3. Good luck finding free water. Feeling thirsty but not in the mood to pay $5 for a bottle of water? Too bad. Most theaters don't go out of their way to offer free tap water, and some won't even mention it unless you ask. I can actually confirm that a lot of locations track their cup inventory just to avoid giving them away for free. Some theaters have even removed water fountains altogether or placed them where people won't find them. The result is subtle but effective. When your mouth is dry and the movie is long, a lot of people will just cave and buy a drink rather than go hunting for an invisible fountain or request a courtesy cup at the counter. 2. Insert that coin while you wait. Movie theater lobbies have become more like mini arcades than waiting areas. There are claw machines, racing games, photo booths, and VR stations right by the box office, all there to siphon off a few extra bucks from the moviegoers. Some operations report that lobby attractions account for as much as 15 to 25% of total revenue, and they require zero staffing or active selling. The genius is in the subtlety. A glowing claw machine or racing game pulls kids in before you've even bought a ticket. And remember, you have to pass them again on your way out. 1. they're already planning your next visit. Yep, before you've even left the theater, they've already started working on schemes to bring you back. A notification might pop up on your phone the next day promising free popcorn if you bring a friend, or a promo code might drop into your inbox offering 20% off concessions, but only if you return within a week. These aren't rewards, they're reinforcements. You're still riding the buzz from the movie, and now you're being nudged to recreate the whole night. They know that's the perfect time to lock in your next visit. Even something small as a discounted soda or a freebie offer is designed to pull you back into that same loop. The theaters plan it all down to the last offer. Not to thank you for coming, but to make sure you keep coming back. And that's all I have for you today. Thank heavens, because I actually like going to movies. Which one of these made you realize you've definitely been upsold at least twice this month? Let me know in the comments below. Oh, and what was the last movie you saw in theaters? Mine was Fantastic Four: First Steps, and it is, no pun intended, fantastic. Seriously, go see it, like now. But hold up, before you go, it's trivia time. Roughly what percentage of gift card balances in the US go unredeemed every year? Is it A, 3 to 5%, B, 7 to 9%, C, 10 to 19%, or D, over 25%? You know what to do. And if you're still in the mood for the movie scene, there's another one I did recently that takes an even deeper dive into the rabbit hole. From hidden night vision cameras to secret mics, you'll never look at your local cinema the same way again. If you want to see what they're really hiding, I'm about to drop the link in this vicinity right here in the next few moments. Anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Hit those buttons if you haven't already, and I'll catch you again next time. Still go to the movie. What's your favorite movie of all time?